Hi, and welcome back to yet another training. This time, a training where we help you close more of your sales calls and sales meetings. Sounds good? Well, let's look at the agenda real quick. We're going to help you understand what you can expect from this training. Well, in fact, that is how to close more sales calls and more sales meetings. We're going to look at the outline. We're going to look at the script, which is not a script. We're going to look at the typical objections that you might get and how to overcome them. And we're going to look at some do's and some don'ts, right? The first thing I'd like you to do is to please imprint in your mind, this is very powerful stuff, use it ethically. If you're part of the SAM mentoring program, then ethical alignment is something that we looked at before you joined, no problem there. If you came into contact with this or bumped into this training in isolation, please really do use this stuff sensibly and ethically because it's very important. Here's the outline laid out into 10 points, which we are going to go and explore one by one right now. First, the sales process starts before the call. It really depends on who you work with, your price point. And for the price, if you sell high ticket, which if you're watching this training, you probably are, I would recommend that you investigate about the budget before the call. We do that through our Calendly system. I would recommend that you use a scheduling system of some sort. We use Calendly. The first thing that we ask is, are you a coach, a consultant, or an agency owner? If not, please do not apply, because chances are that we're not going to be able to help them. So we don't want to get on the phone with people we can't help. If they feel strongly that they're not, but they should talk to us, they can email us or get in touch the same way. We ask them some more questions, and these are just discovery questions that allow us to understand more about them before they come onto the call so that we can be equipped and prepared to deliver value. The most important part here is to ask them whether they have access to the finance required to join your program. If you sell high ticket, there's no point getting on the phone with people who do not have access to the finance. Again, if they don't have access but they feel strongly that they should partake, you can have a conversation with them. They may tick that box, and then you can say something like, hi, John or Jane, got your application for a call. Super excited to be talking to you. We do require that people have access to a budget because our program does require an investment. You don't seem to have it. Shall we perhaps postpone this call for when you are able to join? And then you can see what they say, because ultimately, if they don't have the money to join, they can't buy. So a sales calls when people cannot physically purchase it is going to be very hard to convert. Next, a few words on being prepared. Turn off all your notifications, close the tabs, close Facebook, chock, focus. Tell the prospect that you may be taking notes so that if you do, they're not distracted, that they don't think that you don't care, they don't think that you are looking at something else. And really give this call the importance that it needs, because there's money in that call or in that meeting. Now, the first thing that you do once you're on the call, you do small talk. You typically get on the phone with people or on Zoom, or you meet people and you do small talk. It's required, but keep it short, under 5 minutes. It's really important, but you need to be in control. And the way you're in control is by, after a few minutes that you've done a small talk, or when it feels natural, there is one line that helps you transition from the small talk to the sales call, and that line is this, right? Okay, the way this is going to work is super simple. That line is vital and is very effective because of several elements. There's a bit of NLP in there. Okay is a pattern interrupt. You're talking about pets or weather or whatever. When you say okay, and maybe you give it a little clap, right? The way that is going to work is that it represents a pattern interrupt between what was happening then and what's happening now, right? Okay, the way this is going to work, that string puts you in the teacher's desk, right? The way this is going to work, you're telling, right? It's super simple, and super simple puts them at ease. Then the following comes. I'm going to ask you a few questions and I need you to answer openly so that I can help you achieve whatever goal they told you they want to achieve. That is how you become the teacher, right? How rigid and how authoritarian you want to sound with that, it really is down to you. But if you follow this has served us well for many years. Then I would say something like, at that point, if we are a good fit, we'll show you some options on how we can work with you and help you achieve whatever goal they told you, right? John, Jane, the most important asset of all is time. I respect that you have taken the time to come and talk to us. Why? What made you come to us? And that's an important question because you want them to explain exactly why they were attracted to you particularly. You probably have competition, so you want to understand what they already find interesting and attractive about your offer. Because once they told you that, then you can use that as an ammunition later on to sell. There are many reasons why people may buy from you, and they may vary. So once you know the specific reasons that a specific person has that drive the decision to work with you, then you'll be able to use those, right? So that you talk to them about something that is important to them, right? Things like, what do you sell in the this is a fact finding, by the way. What do you sell? Who's your dream client? What are you charging? And so on and so forth. These questions are really geared for business growth. So if you sell business-related services and programs, business coaching, lead generation, these are good questions to model. You want to ask questions that give you a good overview of their current situation, where they want to go, and the gap in between, the challenges, right? So as I said, we included here an example of questions that are really geared around getting customers or business growth, right? Questions like, how are you currently getting customers? What is it costing you to get customers? Do you do paid ads? How much does it cost you to drive a lead? And all that kind of stuff. Do you do organic traffic? Now, these are the questions that will then transcend, can I say that? Well, I just did. From fact finding to tough love, right? So the fact finding, you just simply ask unjudgmentally. On tough love, you want to twist the knife a little bit, saying, okay, so what are you actually doing? So if you're not driving traffic there, how are you driving customers? Well, I'm not. All right. How much is it costing you that you're not driving traffic? How much do you think is costing your business that you're not driving traffic optimally, right? How much does it cost you that you don't have an optimal, effective marketing strategy, right? And the point of these questions is to find out what they are or they are not doing, and then make them realize that they've got the problem, right? If they've got the problem, of course. And then twist the knife a little bit. Now, once you've done that, you want to put them into a nice feeling. So here you agitate the problem, but here you put their mind into the future, into a nice future, right? So a typical conversation on tough love would be, all right, so how are you generating leads? Only word of mouth. Good, okay, and is that enough business for you? No. Right, okay, so what do you think you should do to drive more business? Well, lead generation. Okay, so you think that not driving leads through a lead generation strategy that is effective is hurting your business? Yeah. And that's probably not making you feel nice inside. No. Yeah, and that makes you work so long, much longer than you should, and perhaps be worried. Yes. See, you're twisting, you're agitating the problem a bit, right? And then as soon as you've done that so that they realize that the problem is grave, you put them into a nice place, right? You zoom into their desire, right? So I would say something like, John, Jane, I totally understand your business. I love it. I've seen many people struggle, so you're not alone, but I'm super familiar with it. We can help you, right? The one thing that I still don't understand, though, is what is your goal? Where do you want to go? Because in the fact finding and in the tough love, you understood the problem. Now you want to understand the goal, right? When they tell you the goal, you want to say, okay, 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, or if they want to lose weight, 5 kilos, 10 kilos, or whatever goal they tell you. Right, that's a great goal. And why that goal? What would change to you personally once you get that goal? And you can ask that question for pretty much any goal, right? All right, I got it. And why is this important to you? So let's say, for example, somebody comes onto a call with us. We did the fact finding, we did the tough love. Now we say, okay, so what is the goal? Oh, the goal is $15,000 a month. Fantastic, great goal. Why that number? I'm curious, why did you come up with that number? Oh, because, that will allow me to do whatever I want to do. Okay, good. And why is doing these things that you told me you want to do important to you? What would it mean to you personally? It's a very powerful question, right? If the answer really easily, like super easily, I would go a bit deeper. This is the beginning of the 7 levels of why, but you don't go all the way to 7. You just want to connect them to something meaningful, right? So, okay, great. Once you have that, how would you feel? What would change internally, kind of as a feeling, and also externally? And, you'd be surprised how much they give you. And, for weight loss, mindset, relationship, money, people go very deep and they tell you, you know what, if that happens, I've had people cry on the phone. If that happens, I will feel that I'm finally proud of myself. You know, that I have to feel low self-esteem. I'll be able to give my family the life that I want. They really connect with the true why. And that, my friend, is the number one key to driving good success sales calls, good successful sales calls. That's why we ask you to use it very ethically. If you can deliver that freedom, if you can deliver the outcome, if you can deliver on your promise, and of course you know full well that you don't always deliver because sometimes they drop out and so on, but you need to be convinced that provided they put in the work, you can help. And if that is the case, this allows you to really put the importance on the problem and the solution in their heart, not just in their mind. Very powerful stuff, right? Get them to really zoom into their desires and get them to live it a bit, right? So when they get that, you know, that would mean the world because I would be able to provide for my family in a different way. I would be able to spend time with my family. I'll be fit enough, you know, if you're talking about fitness, to play with my kids. Go a bit deeper, right? And how would that feel? Imagine you playing with your kids and doing those things. Would that really be fantastic? Because you are painting a wonderful picture for them. If you can deliver it, there's nothing that creates momentum like following and chasing pleasure. The only other thing that beats it is escaping from pain, and you've done that in the tough love already. So very powerful, right? Then I normally close this section with something like, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, John, how much do you want to do these things? How much do you want to be able to do A, B, and C, whatever they told you? And you want a 10 or 11 here, right? Good. Okay, so you want to do this, right? But at the moment we're doing this. So tell me, what's stopping you on your own from being able to bridge that gap? You know, what are the biggest obstacles? And here they'll tell you all the biggest obstacles. They'll tell you every problem that they perceive to be the obstacle. Now, here's an important concept in the reality check part where you tell them what they told you. Now, they might told you the problems that they perceive to have are A, B, and C. You may think, yeah, hold on a second, that's maybe a problem, but actually you also have 1, 2, and 3 problems, right? This is not the time to say, no, that's not correct, you need to do 1, 2, 3. You want to first empathize with it and agree. You want to say, yeah, I totally get it. So if you think that you had A, B, and C, you'll be able to achieve the goal, yeah? And then they say yes. What I would normally say here is, you know what, I agree. A, B, and C are very important, and if you had that, you'll be moving a lot quicker towards your goal. But in my experience, and having worked with so many people in your case, and based on what you told me, you also have a 1, 2, 3 problem. You have an A, B, C problem, but you also have a 1, 2, 3 problem. And when you solve A, B, and C in 1, 2, 3, you'll be able to crush this no problem. And you know the good news is that I can help you do that, right? And that is very powerful because it reassures them, it gives them what they want, but it also gives them what they need. They told you that the perceived problem is A, B, and C. That is what they want to believe. So you give them what they want, but then you also give them what they need. The other thing that you cause by doing that is that they put you straight away in the position of the authority in that space. Yes, he agrees with me that I've got this problem, so I'm not dumb, actually. I've seen it, you know, and most of the times your clients see part of the problem, but you also educate them, so you give them value right away and you open their eyes, you know. It's very powerful. So do that. Yeah, I totally agree that you have this problem, but I think you also have this problem. And if you solve that problem, as well as this problem, you crush it. Yeah, you just do so well. Very powerful stuff. Then you go to contracting. This is where you make small contracts with the user, with the client, right? Things like, so being stuck and not moving towards your goal has an impact on your business, but also on your personal life, right? Is that what we looked at? Yes, right? And so the benefit that you told me is not, you know, they're playing with the kids and so on. It's not just you. It's not just the business. It's actually all the people around you that you love. And actually, when you solve that, my guess is that you'll probably be a better contributor for the world as well, right? Yes. So it's basically taking them outside of their ego. So it's not just for you, it's not just for the business, but it's also the loved ones, yes. And it's not just the loved ones, but it's also the world, yes. And when people feel that their goal is bigger than themselves and bigger than just their loved ones, they become really motivated to achieve it. So you also make a contract here, not only to sell, but actually when they become clients, to go and pursue it, because you've enlisted, you've opened now this this box of energy. My goodness, this is the future pacing. This is what I could believe in. This is why it's important. They almost got emotional. And this is not just about me. It's about my family. It's not just about my family. It's about the world, because I can contribute to be changing the world, to be impacting the world in a good way. Very powerful stuff. And obviously, it all needs to be ethical and true, right? But most of the times, this is the case, because when people feel better physically, mentally, financially in their job, then they contribute better to the world. That's why the SAM exists. John, Jane, it seems to me that you're serious about that. It seems to me that you're really determined and motivated to whatever they told you their goal is, right? So, when do you want to do this? I know you want to get it right now, but I guess what I'm asking is, are you fully committed to getting it done right now, ASAP, and making that change and living that life? Wait for the yeses. You need to wait for a yes here. If you don't get a yes, just don't continue and say, so is this not important? Because if it isn't, then maybe there's not much point carrying it on. Now, I don't think that's ever happened to us, but if it does happen, the people don't really feel that this is important, then you have not really discovered the true desire. Like I said, in many years, this has not happened before, right? Apart from when maybe sneakily a salesperson got onto the call trying to sell to us. That is not happening anymore. Anyways, and then I would ask again, if they haven't given you a specific answer at the beginning, I would ask, why us? Why do you think we can help, right? Or if you work for a company, you can say, why this company? And it's important here to do it because, again, it gives you the indication of what they already like about you. You might have done this before, and if you've done, that's fine, as long as you got it clear in mind. But understand what they already like about you so that you can use that as a leverage and then add the others as bonus. The other good reasons as bonus. Then on the 9, when you show and sell, here's what I would say. John, Jane, I'm really sold. I love what you want to do. I love the mission. I can see the struggle. Worked with people that have done it before, that have had their struggle before, and we help them. I'm sold, right? And I've got great news for you. We can definitely help you do that, maybe even sooner than you think. Always say what's true. If it's not true, don't say it. It's just because I'm saying. Remember, this is a script, but it's not a script. Adapt it, right? You need a positive response at this point. If they go like, then I would say something, oh, you don't look excited about this, right? You definitely need to have a positive response. So if they don't look excited, I would say, whoa, Jane, you don't look excited about this. I mean, I would be over the moon. Is there something missing? Sometimes it may be. Sometimes they say, yes, I'm worried about time. I'm worried about money. I'm worried about whatever. I'm worried that I'm not good enough. Remember, guys, when people don't buy, 80% of the times it's down to 3 things. They don't believe you. They don't believe your offer. They don't believe that they will work for them. They might believe you and they might believe that you're good, but they might believe that it won't work for them. Or they might not believe themselves, right? So at this point, if they're not excited, one of these 3 things needs to be addressed. If you've done everything to this point, including the calendar link, and if after they booked, you send them maybe a page with testimonials and a video and a small training and a small backstory about you, if they've been warmed up properly, then they don't believe you shouldn't be a factor. If they don't believe that the offer will work for them, or they don't believe in themselves, they don't believe that they would be capable of doing this, whether it's a fitness program, a diet, a relationship program, a mindset program, a business growth program, whatever, then you need to address those things right now, right? So if there is, address it. If there isn't, you will say something like, if they say something like, no, I'm excited. I'm sorry, I was just distracted. No, I'm excited. You will say something like, okay, great. I've asked because if you're not, then we need to do more work. I need you to be excited about this because this is potentially something that will cost you some money and time. So I want you to work towards the right thing. The future is super bright. You know what it means to you to achieve that goal. So we want to really be interested in achieving that goal. Make sense? Something along those lines. When you get a positive response, and by the way, normally when you ask this, when you say I've got great news, we can definitely help, people go, great, oh man, I'm excited. 90% of the times they do that. If they don't, then you fix it. You address it. Then you continue with something like, okay, John, do you want me to show you how we can help you, achieve that goal? And again, wait for the yes. You are establishing yes patterns. It's a bit of NLP in here. You are educating the prospect to saying yes, 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 right? So do you want me to show you? Yes. And this is basically where you show them the what. You show them the what, but not the how. So for example, if you're a fitness and nutrition trainer, a coach, you might say something like, right, so step one, we're going to show you a simple 3-step workout routine where every day for 15 minutes you can do this workout that is super effective in burning calories and building tone lean muscle. Number two, we're going to help you come out with a meal plan, and it's super nice to eat, super easy to cook, and so on and so forth. So you tell them the what, but not the how. That was the what. The how will be, we'll teach you how to do the kettlebell workout. You take a 5-kilo kettlebell, you do this movement, that will be the how. You don't do that, you just tell them the what. So this is something that we use. So I don't think it's super up to date to what we do today. And we do each point will be one slide, right? We sell this on slides. We say things like, we help you scale your business to 10K a month in 90 days or less. We systematically plug the holes that leak money in your business. We help you find a dream client, build an offer that sells itself. We help you drive tons of organic free traffic. We help you build a team so that you can scale and do the things that really matter for you in life, right? And this is where you basically show them the what, right? Whatever that is for you. This normally takes anything between 25 and 40% max of the talk. You show them the what and not the how. The how comes into the program, right? Once they signed up. Very, very important. When they look like they're impressed, they go, my goodness, yeah, this will really help. Then I say something like, okay, great, I'm loving that you're so impressed and excited. This will definitely help. It helped men in your situation. Do you want me to show you how the offer is, how the packages work, how whatever leads into the price? Wait for a yes, very important, right? And then you'll say, okay, here's how it works. I would add something like simple, yeah? The price is very simple or something like that, right? Then you describe the offer before you get to the price, and you say you get whatever you do, lifetime access to a state-of-the-art learning portal for us, 6 weekly coaching calls, 1 a day, 1 day, twice a day, 5 coaches, access to a community of high-achieving individuals, support for X months, and so on and so forth. You tell them all the features. You told them the benefits already. You told them now you told them the features, and then you go to the price only when they say how much, right? You might have said earlier the pricing is very simple, but once you told them the features and the benefits, you want to be quiet and wait until they say, right, so what is the price? How much is it, right? Because now they're asking for it, and it's a much better psychological position. At which point I normally say something like, it's actually really simple, right? And you want the price to be associated with something that is simple. If the pricing structure is confusing, you're going to lose the sale way more often than you're not. So make sure that the pricing is easy to understand. It's actually really simple. Firstly, we offer something no one else does in our space, which is a guarantee. You do that if that is true. We do offer a guarantee. Right? If you're not solving a financial problem, then you might need to come up with a different guarantee than this one, right? You could be that if you follow our program and you don't lose at least X pounds of fat or inches or whatever it is, then we continue working with you until you do. Whatever your guarantee is, if you offer one, right? And at that point, you want to seal it by saying something like, the regular price is 14K, for example. However, we have a case study scholarship. If you're ready to get enrolled today and you can promise in writing that you give us a case studies once we help you achieve your goal, I'll be happy to offer you 50% off, which is crazy, and let you in a 7K. Now, you continue by saying this offer is only made to people that would love to work and have a case study because we feel that we can crush it with them. Now, the reason why this is important is because the case study scholarship is something that we actually really do. Now, our program is worth way more than $15,000, right? But we give 50% discount, and it's a true discount. It's not that we inflate the price and that we discount it. It's a true discount. And the reason why we do that, and I've done the same at the agency where we now do $3 million in revenue, because a good case study can make you way more than 50% that you're giving off. A good testimonial, a good case study on video can give you way more. Now, if you give them a chunky discount, they are obliged, it's part of the contract that they have to give a testimonial. If not, right, if you give them a full price and then you ask them for a testimonial later, they might or might not do it. Whereas if they're contractually obliged to do it, they will do it. Now, if they get results, they want to do it, right? So when you don't give them a discount, they will want to do it, but life gets in the way. It's not something that they have to do. So for us, it worked very well. This may be counterintuitive, and not many people in this industry may agree with us, but for us, 50% off, or 40% off, 25% off, a chunkable discount, sizable discount, is worth every penny in return of what it brings in. When we signed up Calvin Klein with the agency, we didn't, because we didn't need to, but we were prepared to give them a massive discount because it would have brought in business. And you know what? It absolutely did. So depending on what you sell and your pricing structure and your profit margins, so take this as something that we do, something for you to explore. You don't need to have it to succeed. You don't have to give them a price discount. What I would say though, is that one thing that kills sales cycles and sales is maybes. People that say, yeah, I love it, maybe, let me get back to you in a week. 95% of these people will never get back to you. So we still offer a short discount for a quick decision. A small discount for a quick decision, very important. Even if you opt out of the case study idea, offer them a small discount for a quick decision. Now at that point, it is time for you to do the thing that most salespeople struggle to do, which is to be quiet. So you told them the price, you said, all right, John, Jane, the price is 14K, but listen, case studies are very important, social proof, that's how we win most of our business. If you commit in writing that you will leave us a video testimonial when you get the result. You can say what you want in it, but you just commit to doing it once you get the result. And you can make a decision within the next 24 hours, we'll give you 50% off. How does that sound? Be quiet. So that means you're getting for $7,000. Be quiet. At that point, they might say something like, I'm in, definitely. Then take the payment as soon as you can, get the paperwork done, and you're on your way. Now, I say get the payment as soon as you can because in sales, even if they're sold, even if you can deliver amazing results, if they say yes, but you don't take the payment, anything can happen. Even between now and tomorrow, anything can happen. And listen, this is the ideal case scenario. It happens to us a lot. For a long time, actually, we always sent the invoice after. A big no-no. We were very lucky. We probably targeted the clients very well, so we had very minimal dropout, right? And we had no choice because the tech wasn't in place. Now it's kind of beginning to become all automated. But take the money as soon as possible, even if you just need to take a deposit, right? Because anything can happen and then it makes them change their mind. Two, if they say that they cannot afford it, then I would say, well, we got to pay. If money is the only issue, we got a payment plan. And if that doesn't work either, you can offer to take a small deposit and they will block the case study price maybe for a month or something like that, right? You've done all the work to this point. You don't really want to lose it because they don't have the money. So do what you can to keep it fair for everybody else that you brought in. So don't make deals that you wouldn't do for anybody else. Otherwise, you burn your bridges and burn the trust. But you've done all the hard work. If it really comes down to money, really try to overcome that objection. Some people also offer access to credit with different credit providers. You can look at that too. If you really believe that you can make a difference, then it's up to you. But the message here is don't lose it because you've done all the hard work at this point, right? Three, if they say that they need to talk to somebody, I would say something like, all right, no problem, Mike, no problem, Jane and John. Get back to me today and I'll hold the case study scholarship and offer for you, all right? Good. There are some objections that may come up at this point. One is, I have no money, right? Now, the way in which you handle that objection, I have no money, for me is you need to validate whether that's true. And I would say something like, yeah, if I sell business services, if I sell business growth, lead generation, business growth and all that kind of stuff, and I say, yeah, I can see that, and it's probably the result of the activity that we've done in the past. Listen, if you come into this program, we can help you change that statement. We can help you change that reality of not having money. Can you access at least this amount to get started? And if they say no, then you're back to square one. You can offer credit solutions if you know of any organizations that does it, payment plans, and if not works, then that's it. Then you lost the sale because of it, and it happens. I need to think about it, in which case I would say, yes. So just want to be clear. You said you wanted to achieve this goal, yeah? And wait for the yes. When they say yes, you say, okay. And you said that if you achieve the goal, it will feel this way internally, yeah? Yeah. And you also said that it will mean this much to the people around you and potentially to the world, yes? Yeah. So John, sorry, I'm just a bit confused. What do you need to think about? Do you not want to do that? And then the real objection will come up. A lot of the times, sometimes, you know what, you're right, damn it, let's go, come on, I was just a bit uncertain, I was just a bit, let's go. I'm putting my trust in this program, let's do it, right? At times, they will bring you the right objection, and then you can actually handle it, right? If they say I'm not ready, I will handle it the same way. So you told me that you wanted to achieve this, yeah, and that will mean this, yeah, and that will mean this for your loved ones in the world, yes. Are you not ready to do that? Why are you not ready to do that, right? And then again, the real objection will come up. Some do's and some don'ts. The do's is keep the call in your control. If you don't, the call will last 2.5 hours and will take you down the wrong tangent. Smile, even when they give you the objections, even smile, always smile, be pleasant, because it helps you, right? Be friendly, right? Don't burn bridges. I've been on sales calls when I said, yeah, I'm not interested, and I go, whoa, do you want to keep doing what you're doing? Do you want to keep paying more for your bills? And that's horrible, right? So just always be friendly. Ask direct questions. Don't beat around the bush. Ask. So John, Jane, you told me you wanted to achieve that, right? Not ready? What do you mean? Why are you not ready now? When would you be ready? What does it take for you to be ready today? And at that point, I normally give you the real objection, and it's typically to do with, I don't believe you, I don't believe the program, I don't believe myself, right? Don't continue if you're not satisfied at each phase. And if each phase you're not satisfied that they qualify for the next step, right? If they're not excited, if whatever, just don't continue, If they say, no, I have no access to money, don't continue. Give them the price. Don't give them the price before the call, ever. I mean, there are two schools of thought. Some people say you should. I 100% can tell you that in my experience, it never works, because some people are trying to tickle their curiosity, right? Now, those people will never make it to a call, because they will never go through the questions that you asked before, the call scheduling questions, the pre-qualifying questions, right? And so these people will not make it through to the call. But if they want the price before the call, then you're basically giving away the price to these people for what? For nothing. So you take away the curiosity. Some people may ask for the price, and a small minority will be also the people that could buy. And if you give them the price before, they just win the shop. They just get the price without the benefits, right? So it's an unfair comparison. They get the cost without you having the ability to future pace them and put your solution into a real life context where they can actually place value in it. So don't do that. That's my biggest advice, actually. And then don't contradict yourself on the offer. So if you say the offer is such, don't then go back saying, oh, we can give it to you even cheaper. Just stick to your guns and people will come back to you, all right? This is a small recap of the 10 points. Before the call, that's when it all starts. Small talk, be the teacher, be in control, fact find, tough love, future pace, reality check. You want to go here, but you're here. What's going to happen? How can we do that? Show and sell, and then seal it. Like always, it's about learning a little and implementing a lot. Your first call is not going to be your best, but you're going to have to go through calls to make it better, right? So go through calls, make mistakes, experiment, role play with people in the program, why not, or with your friends or family or whoever. Role play, and then crush it. Implement so that you can grow your income and grow your impact.